It's the Brain and Moham Show. It's the Brain and Moham Show. Brain and Moham Show. It's the Brain and Moham Show.
Warning: the following content may offend some viewers. If you have a problem with words, please relax. Penis.
Put my finger in your butt. Penis. My butthole. Put my finger in your butt.
You gotta find the sweet spot, man. Find the sweet spot, man. Find the sweet spot, man. Find the sweet spot.
What's going on? This is the Brain and Moham Show. I am Muhammad El-Darwish.
I am a Brain Mountain.
And we got lots planned for today. It's a clip show.
Clip show.
Yeah.
What are we playing clips of?
Oh, we got some clips planned, but first off, how you doing, Brain?
Doing pretty good.
That's nice. States are reopening pretty soon. There's all these complicated plans for each state. I wouldn't, want to get into that.
Complications.
There's news stations that I'm sure everyone else is watching, which are, telling them all about that stuff.
I don't watch the news.
That's good, man. So, do you think that they're opening up at the right time, or is it too late? Too early or too late?
I don't know. I don't know.
What would you do if you were like the governor? There's people who are, having trouble feeding their families because their businesses can't open, and then there's also people dying from the disease, which we're struggling to control. So, when should we open?
It's not an easy. It's not easy. There's not like a cut and dry like.
Right.
It's because it's complicated, you gotta keep the economy going, but you've also got to make sure that not everybody gets sick. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of places have been open through this whole thing. I go into stores all the time, and they all have the tape, the 6 foot. You can't go in anywhere without a mask. As far as opening like restaurants and stuff, like you'd have to. Space out the tables, limit the maximum capacity of diners, which, would create long waits and all that. You open up a restaurant and everybody's going to want to go, but you can only dine, say, 10 people instead of 20, or, 10 tables instead of 20, or whatever, half the tables so that they're twice as far apart, or, you can only use half the booths, except, So, you're not going to be able to, then you're going to have all these people like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go get dinner. And then it's going to be, oh, fuck, I got to wait 3 hours to eat food because, half their capacity is empty. But, there's still the takeout and the drive up and, all that. But it's...
Well, food places aren't really the ones I'm worried about. It's other stuff. A lot of businesses aren't food. They're not essential.
Well, yeah, I know. I get that.
So they're still waiting to open up.
One thing that was in my mind. Of course there's other businesses,
I realize I might be peaking with my volume here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm being
fine.
a little loud. So it's a tough call, and I don't know what's right either, but I feel like maybe it's probably about the right time.
It's about the right time maybe to slowly start,
Well, that seems to be what's happening.
As long as people can, adhere to the thing, you know. There's people fucking...
Yeah. You might turn my mic down just a tiny bit.
Stabbing people.
Thanks, man.
Over, having to
well,
wear
I mean,
a mask.
there was a video about this lady who was basically, what they call a Karen, and she was got into a fight with people at Red Lobster because she had to wait 3 hours, and she was like, "Give me my money back."
You see, that's the kind of shit I was just talking about.
Right. So then it doesn't.
These people are going to get pissed
matter.
and start killing each other.
There are people that are not.
They can't get into Red Lobster.
Yeah. There are people that are not following the rules anyway right now.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So, like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to just, like, wait until it goes away like magic?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So there's a lot more going on. Facebook recently added a new reaction, the Care React. Have you seen the new React by any chance?
I had no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Well, there is political implications from this reaction, believe it or not, and I will explain it right now. Can you believe it? There actually are. Would you imagine?
I mean, I guess if you used it on something that was political,
Exactly.
whether or not you cared, that
I don't
would make
know.
it political. I don't think that makes the actual thing political.
Yeah.
Unless you use it politically.
I don't know if you noticed
If it was made through political means, that would be different. But
No. It has implications, but here's the thing. So you know how when you write a post and you're supporting somebody politically,
Yeah.
and then you get like 5 people laugh at you, the laughing reaction, or
Yeah.
or you support a policy and they all laugh at you and they have the angry and the cry reacts and whatnot. The most common reacts are the like, heart, and the laughing.
yeah.
The conservatives have weaponized the laugh emoji since the 2016 election, and maybe even before that, where they would try to laugh at everything they possibly could that would be anti-Trump or pro-democratic or whatever suits them. They would just laugh at it to say that, oh, that's a joke, right? You notice that?
Yeah.
Well, now they can't simply just laugh at something and it'll show up as the third thing, because now there's a Care React. So more people will generally click the Care React, bumping the laughing reaction off of it. And you can actually do this when you're on social media. You can, if you have a post that is important to you for political reasons, if you say something political and you mostly get support, but you also get a few laughs, you can click the Care React, and if a couple people click the Care React, it'll bump the laugh react off of it. So when people look at it, they'll only see likes, hearts, and cares. So if Joe Biden recently posted a thing that said science over fiction, or something like that, facts over fiction,
Yeah.
and it got, I don't know, 14,000 likes, in the first day, and I noticed that there was no laughing react immediately underneath it, and I thought, oh my God. That's when I realized this Care React is going to make it harder for them to do that.
That's interesting. I never realized that emojis had so much to do with anything at all.
It does, believe it or not. In 2016, they were able to weaponize the laugh emoji.
I never really paid attention to them. They never meant anything to me. I was more interested in what, reading and posting.
So if you posted something and people reacted in a strange way, don't you like notice, if you say something and they're like do a cry react or something, do you ever think like that's odd?
No, because they didn't say anything. It's like, you're just gonna put a picture, type something, you fucking dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've ever gotten into an argument with someone on Facebook, you would probably notice that they'll laugh at you. They'll use the laughing react to dismiss what you say, basically.
But it doesn't.
Right. But people see it and they see a laughing react underneath it. And if they see 100 reacts and the laughing react is on the list there of the 3 things, they'll think that, oh, a lot of people laughed at this, so it must be a joke. It must be stupid.
I guess. I've never been very social. Even my presence on Facebook is literally just a vendetta.
V for vendetta. So, is there any reason for your vendetta?
Not really.
Who's the vendetta against? Isn't it supposed to be revenge?
Just the world, I guess. I have two sides. One side is very evil.
Do you ever show that side? Does that side come out right now?
Right now, it comes out on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. There's a few more things going on.
Facebook is a joke.
Well, I mean, Facebook is
To
part
me,
of why. Yes, Facebook is part of why Trump
a joke
is president.
to me. Yeah,
so
I
it's
know.
got to be dealt with in this manner.
Right? Yeah.
These kind of things matter, and you know,
must be destroyed.
they said that Mark Zuckerberg was a Republican, right?
Mark Zuckerberg, his mother.
They say he's a Trump supporter, but I don't
She's
think
a
that's
whore.
true. And they say Elon Musk is a Trump supporter. I don't think that's true at all.
I don't know that they're. I don't
They
think
play both sides because it's
yeah.
good for them, but they really support the liberals. They're liberals.
Right,
Jeff Bezos is too.
Yeah, I don't.
Mike Bloomberg is too. I mean, he's not liberal, but he's on that side.
I can't say like who they support. I mean, if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't fucking give a shit because I was a billionaire.
If you're a billionaire, you almost have to give a shit. You have so much power that you would be crazy to ignore it. You would really be able to ignore all that influence that you could have. You know, you would just be a hermit millionaire type thing.
No, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, well.
They do have those, I think.
I
just
could.
don't
I would
hear
be a
about
her.
them.
It's not that I wouldn't do anything. Like you know, if I had Jeff Bezos' money, I would definitely change the world. You know what I mean? I would.
You'd be doing like Elon Musk type shit, right?
Yeah, you know, times like 2
Right.
because he's got more money.
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk really wants the economy to open. Apparently, he called it fascism or something.
Yeah, he's a very weird, he's a very strange person.
Yeah.
I admire him very much, but every once in a while I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
It's got to be weird to have that much money. It really is, and he doesn't even have as much as what the other person we're talking about, Bezos. It's got to be weird
Right.
to have Bezos money.
yeah,
It shouldn't be something anybody ever wants. There's no point. It's a pointless amount of money. It should be. It's the kind of
Right,
amount of
I-
money that would make you miserable.
I don't get why he still has it. Why hasn't he
Well,
fucking
what's he supposed to spend it on? What costs that much?
fixing everything in the world?
Yeah, right. We should be asking him to fix
Like,
everything in the world and stop ruining.
give me
things.
that money and I will fix the world.
Yeah. So there's a pretty large movement. Well, I mean, you know, it's a fairly large movement of conservatives and ex-Republicans and never-Trumpers and, you know, Republicans against Trump. There's a group called Republicans for Biden. There's a group called the Lincoln Project, and they have been making the best attack ads of the cycle, in my opinion. Republicans know how to attack.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing that they're definitely better at than the Democrats aren't as good at. Really going for the kill. There was an advertisement called "Mourning in America," and it's spelled like mourning, like we're mourning a death.
Right.
And of course, Ronald Reagan back in 1984 or something like that. 83, 84, he had an ad called "Morning in America," which was one of the most iconic political advertisements, but it meant it was a mirror image. It was this is a beautiful like rebirth, like we're growing into our best version of ourselves back then. Now it's the opposite. We're going in the darkest places we've ever been to in our lives. So they made an ad called "Morning in America," and it got partially censored on Facebook for one of the claims said Trump bailed out Wall Street but not Main Street, and PolitiFact said that was partly false. So they put a little thing on it that says, you know, this is marked partly false, but if you want to see it anyway, you click here. What do you think of that? Is that going too far? Is that censorship, or is that like the right amount of just like information?
Well, I mean, if it's incorrect information and they're correcting it, then
It's debatable
I think
if
that's
it's incorrect.
okay.
I mean, like I said, the claim was Trump bailed out Wall Street, not Main Street. Now, you could go on and on and on and debate that. That's not one of those things that's clearly... That's why it was rated partly false. Because it's not absolutely true, but it is mostly true.
Well, okay.
It's a very confusing situation, but it shouldn't
Well,
have
at
been
least it
censored, in
doesn't-
my opinion.
well-
But they should be censoring more Trump ads because they're the ones going. I mean, I try not to watch them, but I'm sure they're the ones that are making the false claims. And actually, you know what? There was an ad I know that did make a false. It used a clip of Joe Biden saying something about China, but it was a very, very old clip, and it wasn't in relation to what they. It was basically edited. It was false. They were trying to make it sound like he
Right.
said something he didn't say. You want to hear this ad that got Trump so mad that he reports were he was furious after hearing this ad.
Sure.
All right.
There's mourning in America. Today, more than 60,000 Americans have died from a deadly virus Donald Trump ignored. With the economy in shambles, more than 26 million Americans are out of work, the worst economy in decades. Trump bailed out Wall Street, but not Main Street. This afternoon, millions of Americans will apply for unemployment, and with their savings run out, many are giving up hope. Millions worry that a loved one won't survive COVID-19. There's mourning in America, and under the leadership of Donald Trump, our country is weaker and sicker and poorer. And now, Americans are asking, if we have another 4 years like this, will there even be an America?
Paid for by the Lincoln Project, which is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Interesting.
I gotta say, I love that. I can't even tell you how much I love hearing that. I donated $10 to the Lincoln Project after I saw this ad.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a lot of, I don't know. I don't like advertisements. It's in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
Well,
I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
What don't you like about this then?
I don't think that there should be any political ads at all. You know what I mean? I don't think that should be like allowed.
That's interesting.
I don't think you should be able to advertise yourself as a politician like that in that manner. Mm-hmm. Like, you know.
Well, this is an outside group. This is a super PAC. I mean, the party that supported super PACs and Citizens United. Do you know which party supported that?
Is this like a party? Is this just a group?
This is an outside group. This is not authorized by any political. It's not authorized by Biden or anyone else.
That's even more reason why they shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. Well. Can I tell you or ask you a question? Which party do you think supported this type of thing being legal?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Which party do you think is the reason that this is now the way that things are done?
I have no idea. I have no way to answer that.
Like, if you had to guess, Republicans or Democrats, which ones are the ones that want this to be the way that they do things?
I don't know.
It was the Republicans.
Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't
so
really matter.
They passed a law, or they got a Supreme Court decision or something like that. Citizens United.
So
unlimited
they
money in
passed
politics.
The law that made
corporations are
this
people.
ad against
you
them.
can spend as much money as you want, no matter how much it is. Yes, they're the ones that made this happen. so
that is pretty funny.
Yeah. So now it's being used against them effectively. It's like, oh, we shouldn't do this. It's wrong. Fuck that. Let's attack them with what we can, and then we'll change the laws. I do support ending Citizens United so that outside groups can't spend unlimited amount of money. This group's not even rolling in money. It's the Trump campaign that's getting dark money sent to all their super PACs.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Democrats got their big donors too.
Just stupid and needs to be done away with.
Yeah. Damn, we're getting feisty, man. We're getting feisty. I got to tell you, man, I love that commercial so goddamn much, and you did not like
bad,
it. That's sad.
Or I dislike it. I'm just saying I don't think that it should be a thing that can be done. You know what I mean? Because it's just people that are, you know, this is, you know, they're like telling people what to think, you know.
Yeah. Well, one of the people involved in that project, the Lincoln Project, is George Conway, who is the husband of one of Trump's top advisors, Kellyanne Conway. And that's kind of got to be an interesting dynamic in their marriage, in their household, right?
It's like a complete drastic polar opposite.
Yeah, well, the guy George Conway that, you know, these are Republicans that understand that Donald Trump is destroying America and the party, and they think that Joe Biden will help them get back to what they want to get back to, which is individual freedom and, you know, states' rights and, you know, all this other stuff.
It's amazing. It's amazing that this is like happening.
I know, it's crazy. That's why it's worth talking about.
It's pretty insane.
But the funny thing is, Kellyanne Conway and George Conway have maintained their marriage through all these years, through the past 4 years, basically. And this has been going on for almost 4 years, where George Conway has been making it very uncomfortable for his wife at where she works. Another thing is, why the hell is Kellyanne Conway, who seems to be like a kind of like a brilliant, smart person and kind of cool, why the hell is she helping Trump in this maniacal way? You know, it's like the power. It must be so alluring, the fact that she can have the president's ear, and this is the only way she thinks she can do it.
Yeah. Power is luring. Alluring.
Yeah,
it's alluring and allures you.
We have a clip here of Kellyanne Conway responding to questions from CNN's Wolf Blitzer about her marriage.
A final question, a sensitive question, and it's a political question. It's a substantive question. I don't want to talk about your marriage. I know that there are issues there. Your husband, George Conway, he's a lawyer.
What did you just say?
Your husband, George Conway.
Did you just say there are issues there? You don't want to talk about marriage?
I don't want to talk about. No, I don't want to talk.
Why did you say that?
I don't want to talk about your marriage. I don't want to talk about I want to talk about a substantive point that your husband, George Conway, made. He was on television all day yesterday during the first day of the impeachment hearings, and he said this about the President of the United States. I just want your reaction to the substance of what he said.
So before you play the clip, which I haven't seen, why? And why are you doing that?
Because he's a legal scholar, he's a lawyer, and he was really going after the President of the United States, and he was all over television yesterday.
And come on.
I just want you to.
And he's married to me?
Well, you know, he happens to be married to you. What's wrong with that?
You can run the clip of Jeffrey. He happens to be married to me. That's bizarre.
Correct.
The whole thing is just ridiculous.
How bad was Wolf Blitzer in that? He was just stammering. He was just like, I don't want to talk about your marriage. He must have said that like 3 or 4 times.
I don't want to talk about your marriage, but hey, about your husband, who you're married to.
So you can tell she's pretty sharp. I mean, she was ready, and she's not, you know, she doesn't really look that foolish in this. It kind of makes her look sympathetic.
Right.
But still, it's got to be crazy. Like, their marriage, I credit them for being able to separate work from personal life like that.
Yeah, that's got to be a pretty crazy thing to try to work out.
So, do you think it's good that Joe Biden hasn't really been in the news? He's been very low visibility. You think that might help him because he's like known to make gaffes and make mistakes and say stupid things?
Maybe.
Or does it hurt?
I don't know. One thing that I dislike about Trump as a president is his constant, like, you can't go an hour without hearing something about him or his administration, you know. And I feel like just, you know, presidents before that, it's just like, you know, every once in a while there'd be like this thing like, oh, he's signing this bill and it's going to do this and blah, 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 blah. And then he either does or he doesn't, and it either goes in and it doesn't, or it doesn't, and then that's it. And then you don't really hear much about the president, and it's like he's just everywhere all the fucking time, and it's annoying as shit.
Yeah, is it getting pretty tiresome?
It was
hearing his voice, screaming from the TV up in the corner.
Yeah, it was.
You walk into Dunkin' Donuts.
It was tiring immediately. Before he was even president, I was tired of hearing him.
Do you think that Biden would be different? He would be a lot more boring, and he would just be doing his work.
I don't think that he would be spending most of his time tweeting stupid bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? I think he would actually be doing his fucking job.
Well, it's interesting that you would say tweeting his bullshit, because Biden recently came up with a nickname for Trump, and he said he was going to try not to make up nicknames. He tried his best, apparently, but it sort of just came out.
Okay.
And I like this nickname. I think it's been probably, it's probably the best one I've heard. So here's the clip.
Why have they failed to get this money out to the folks who desperately need it to stay afloat? Is it incompetence? Corruption? Trump was out there tweeting again this morning. I call him President Tweety. Reopen the country, end of quote. How are we supposed to do that if you're sitting on the money small businesses need in order to stay alive.
President Tweety.
President Mr. Tweety.
It's like Tweety Bird.
How do you think we're gonna get these people back to their homes and back to their businesses?
With a tweet.
With a tweet.
Is that Bernie Sanders or is that the Mr. Shackelford? Mr. What's his name again?
McVicker. that was. It sounded more like Bernie. It's just a general older Jewish gentleman, I guess.
Yeah.
That's that character's that voice, I guess. You know. Then you got the guy down there, and then you're riding on a tractor and drinking beer. You know.
You got those guys on a tractor drinking bears. And
got them down here on a tractor.
Alligator spiders.
Alligator spiders. They're it's about alligator spider season about now. You gotta catch them, cook them, and eat them.
Or they're gonna catch you, and I tell you what.
Or they will catch you, and let me tell you, you don't want them to catch you.
There's one more clip I got here. I don't think it needs any explanation.
Play the clip.
You'll hear it.
As far as the president is concerned, he's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese.
What the fuck did I even just hear?
Yeah, so that was the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, calling the president morbidly obese.
Scientists, morbidly obese.
Oh, yeah, so...
I have no idea what that woman just said. Except for Trump is fat.
Well, so it was,
and doesn't listen to scientists.
It was responding to a question about Trump has recently come out saying that he's taking this drug for malaria called hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Which is not really safe to do if you're not like sick with malaria or something.
Yeah,
or lupus
and I'm sure there's a dosage thing where it's like it's probably a low dose.
Right, but he's obviously lying. I mean, the guy's full of shit. He's always lying. Like, why would you even make this obvious of a lie?
Yeah.
He's not taking it.
Right.
Like, why the heck would he actually be taking it? He's getting everyone around him is getting tested all the time.
Yeah.
And they're getting sick, and he's somehow avoiding it. So, I mean, if he's, it's possible he might have had it before, and he was fine.
Antibodies.
Yeah. But she was saying specifically that it's not a good thing, and it's not safe for someone of his age and weight group,
right,
to be taking this drug without doctors prescribing it, I suppose.
I think that the end there really that got me good. I haven't had a good chuckle like that in a while.
I think that's probably it. That's all I got for us.
That'll be all.
Unless you got anything you want to plug at this juncture, Brain?
I want to plug some titties.
All right, see you next time.
Butthole. Dick. Butthole. Dick. Fuck. My butthole.
Now, would you be so kind as to give me some
cheesecake? 2 plus 2 equals cheesecake. 5, 2, 5, 2.